Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 2. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start with the furry, it's Star Trek, so alien species, and some that are more furry-like or scaly-like than others. So, moving on to the good and bad. I've already done a couple of reviews for parts of this season, so this is going to be my overall review for Season 2, but links to the other reviews down below. So, my main complaint with this season is that Season 1, actually backing up to Star Trek Discovery, where we introduced Pike, Captain Pike. Captain Pike was amazing. Anson Mount, love him to death. He is one of my new favorite captains of all time. And I feel like because of how well he did that is what greenlit them even making Strange New Worlds. Like, I don't know that they were even thinking about it when they had him or not, or if maybe they were thinking about it, they're like, let's just test the waters and see how he's received. And oh shit, everybody fucking loves him. Yes, let's fucking do it. Like, I don't know what their process was, but I feel like Anson Mount was a big part of it. And I feel like in Season 1, it was a main focus on him, because he is the captain, and he is amazing, and he's why we tune in. And in this one, they don't. He is very much sidelined in the first few episodes, and what I will say is that after I got over the fact that it's not about Captain Pike in this season, it's about the crew, I did start to appreciate that, because it is one of the Star Trek things, is that, like, yeah, initially the focus is going to be the captain, but as you establish the captain, now you need to discover more about the crew. And I get that, and as the season progressed, I was willing to deal with that more. So he does still play important roles, especially after the first few episodes, but he is not like the main focal point that everything is about. But he still provides that guiding hand, that captain, that leadership hand when he needs to. Like he did, like, you're gonna do this because I need you to do this. I know you two can do this, so you're gonna do that. And then when somebody's like really struggling, and he just like, look, this is what we need from you. Like, you can do this. Like, just that, exactly what I would hope a captain would be. But he has his own spin on it, because Archer was evidently angry. Picard was, I don't want to say aloof, but he was much more rigid. Sisko was like, his crew was his family, and, you know, Janeway was in a tough situation, but she was a badass. And then you got, however, Sonequa Martin Green handling her crew because of all her difficulties. It's an unusual situation there. I like his take on the captaincy. But anywho, this season, what I will say is, don't watch the last episode, because the last episode ends in a cliffhanger. Almost like Locutus of Borg cliffhanger level, where I still think at the next episode, at the start of the third season, which they better fucking have, they'll be able to, quick solve or whatever, like come up with something to solve the thing. Like, I don't imagine they're going to do the Star Trek Discovery whole season arc thing about one instance. But it definitely ends in a cliffhanger such that I don't think you should watch it. You should end at the end of season, or at the end of episode 9. And another one of the reasons you should end at episode 9 is because, holy shit, they did a musical episode with Star Trek. And it's so amazing. Like, if you liked Buffy the Vampire's Once More with Feeling episode, that's the musical, you will love this one, because in Buffy, they were still having character development and things happen that were relevant to the Scooby Gang. Like, it was relevant to them, while still having the musical go on. And that is what happened here, is that there was character things, people found out things about themselves, storylines with, like, how characters interaction, that progressed, while having these fucking musical that, like, every song is a banger that is just, like, you can just listen to it and have it apply to your life at some stage in your life. And that is so, so good. Like, I don't know who they have writing this show, but don't fire them whenever the writer's strike gets over, because these people need to stick around. Yeah, you had the, like, little too on the nose beginning of, like, oh, I'm illegal for being here, blah, blah, blah. Like, ignore that. This show has such good writing, because they were able to have, encapsulated episodes throughout the first and the second season of, like, this episode stands by itself, but also has some character development in it. And they were able to develop that over the whole, last 2 seasons, but definitely over this season, so that it timed perfectly with this one to have the character development that they had in this episode while having all of that awesome music with the songs that, like I fucking said, they are, I want to say timeless songs. Like, yeah, they have a couple things specific to the episode, but like for the most part, the songs you can listen to and be inspired by, like, forever, because they can apply to so many situations. And it's so awesome to see that with Star Trek, because the whole thing of why Star Trek so appeals to me is because it's an exercise of investigating the human condition and philosophies. And they do that so well with fucking musical. So, oh my god. And that's not even, I mean, maybe it's the best episode. I haven't decided yet, because I fucking rewatched that thing, like, immediately after finishing it. I was just like, yep, gonna go watch that again. But the episode, like, episode 7, I think, fucking Boimler from Star Trek Lower Decks. So I love Star Trek Lower Decks because of all the references and everything that happens. And the fact that, like, and I never imagined that we would see real life Boimler and spoilers if you haven't seen the season, which welcome to Spoilerville here. Hello. So you also get to see, you know, his friend. You know, you don't get to see Tendi or the Superstar Science guy, which is a little unfortunate. But those two, you know, see them do the things that they did in the animated show, but in real life. Like, they even did, and I don't know if they had to extra CGI it or what, but they fucking did his fast walk where his hips do that, like, sway thing that, like, they make a point of his weird fast walking. He fucking does it in this episode. You're like, oh, it happens. I would have liked his hair to be a little bit more purple, but the amount of purple that they did was still acceptable. But, like, his screams of, like, and, like, jumping behind things, like, that he does in the animated thing, he fucking does that here. And I love that they lampshade some of the things where the actual Enterprise crew is like, is it weird that the references are oddly specific? Like, they do really specific references. So, just, it is everything and more than what I could have ever hoped for or wanted in a crossover episode between any Star Trek shows, let alone an animated and a real-life actor one. It's so perfect. It was so amazing. I loved, like, they did the perfect combination of Lower Decks things in this universe while keeping it, it was just so perfect. And Jack Quaid is amazing. Like, he's in The Boys. He's fantastic there. Loved him in this one. So, yeah, just, I cannot say enough good things about that episode and the musical episode. And then, yes, the season in general, because we get to see more of the other bridge crew and really get to know them. Like, each one of them kind of has their episode, and I'm okay with that. It's still a good time, and I gotta say, oh man, whenever Nurse Chapel leaves, I'm gonna be real fucking sad, because I think she might be my favorite character on this show. I think she might be, because she's a badass, and I like everything that I've seen with her, and even just her, like, her goals and her path. Like, I'm sad, so, okay, spoiler alert, I am sad that she's not with Spock, but we know that for continuity purposes, like, she can't be with Spock because Spock isn't with her in the original series. But how they get there is so, like, it's so sad. Like, it's so sad because they work so well together, and then you see how that relationship ends, and it doesn't end like, fuck you, no, fuck you, and then just, like, it has a natural upshoot and down of just people that aren't going to be together. But I especially love that, like, kind of the like, hey, no, we are over, is because she's like, I got this fellowship that, like, 5 people out of thousands get every year, and I'm fucking going to this because this is my career and I want to advance my career. Like, I am so in favor of somebody choosing, like, hey, you know, we can do this, but this is my career, and you can either follow me or not, but this is my life path, and I'm going to do my career. And I respect that, and I like that. And you can say what you want about, like, romance and rom-coms and dramedies, like, about how the classic romance thing is somebody giving up something to go do the thing with the person and whatever, but, like, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, he's like, hey, fuck it, I can be Spider-Man in London with you. Like, I'm gonna go with you because your career. And I appreciate when that path is chosen in a believable way. And this is very believable that, come on, 5 out of 5,000 or thousands, like they don't even specify how many thousands, but thousands, and she gets one of the 5. Like, fuck yeah, you should go and do that. So, yeah, just fantastic season. I don't even need to talk about the CGI because there's no bad CGI in this. It absolutely blows it out of the water. I love that they are willing to mess with the opening credits. So like singing for the singing episode and the animated opening credits for the Lower Decks crossover episode is just so good. Yeah, so top-notch CGI throughout, and yeah, just a fantastic time. I have nothing really bad to say about this show, other than the things that I already said bad about it in the first couple of reviews of initial episodes. But it's so good towards the end, like you don't even fucking care. Those were gripes, but excellent show. Continue with the excellence. All right, that's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the next one. Bye.